This is why Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson says we need to address our mounting debt, and we need to do it like right now. But we're not doing that right now, are we, Senator?
No, we're not, Neil. As a matter of fact, we are just days away from having our nation's debt hit $15 trillion. And that's a very sad fact. And what's happening here is we're trying to solve the problem with monetary policy, which is putting off the day of reckoning. But until we actually get our fiscal house in order, and quite honestly, until Greece gets its fiscal house in order and Europe gets its fiscal house in order, that's all we're doing is we're just putting off the day of reckoning.
Though, Senator, I guess we benefit because we're the least smelly skunk at this global picnic, right? That's hardly an endorsement, but by comparison to the problems that Europe is dealing with right now, we kind of stand tall. Is that what it comes down to?
Well, I guess we are continuing to be the currency of last resort. Right. But, Neil, that's not going to continue. I mean, at some point in time, global investors, people who look at the United States and are still willing to loan us money, are going to take a look at the United States and go, I don't think I'm going to loan you folks any more money, or what's more likely to happen is we'll loan you some money, but at extremely higher interest rates. That's certainly what happened in Greece. And, Neil, for every 1 percentage point increase in our borrowing costs, our deficit increases $150 billion a year. I know when Greece hit their debt crisis, their interest rates spiked by 8 percentage points in a short period of time. That would cost the U.S. $1.2 trillion. It would wipe out all discretionary spending. It'd be a third of our budget. That's the day of reckoning, I fear. That's what we have to avoid by getting serious about our deficit issues.
Well, we've been waiting for that financial Godot a while, haven't we? That eventually this day of reckoning is coming, and we put off and put off. Leaving aside the fact that the wait lingers, I'm wondering about the message Greece gives the world if they end up getting this rescue and they keep a lot of very nice protections going their way. In other words, workers who retire there get the equivalent in their Social Security, it's little apples and oranges, of about $45,000 to $48,000 a year. Those who get Social Security in this country, more like $26,000 a year. So we would be propping up a system and rescuing, even indirectly through the World Bank and the IMF, of which we are big contributors, a system that is far more generous than our own with money it doesn't have.
And Neil, at some point in time, the Germans are going to refuse to do that. And here's the problem. Greece, when they hit their debt crisis, and even right now, their total debt is about $480 billion, 3% of what ours are. So, the EU can actually backstop their debt. Nobody can backstop the United States. That's why we have got to start seriously addressing this problem right now.
Then what do you think? I know every time you and I chat, the market has moved up triple digits or down triple digits. Last couple of days, up triple digits, the Dow up more than 200 today, largely on the belief that we're going to benefit by default, to your earlier point, Senator. You think these guys at the corner of Wall and Broad are kind of whistling past the graveyard then?
Well, they're just trading. They're trading on daily fears and sometimes kind of release of fear. But again, you have to take a long-term look at the picture. You have to see the forest for the trees. And you got to look at the math, and right now the math is pretty ugly.
All right, sir. Very good seeing you. This, by the way, an indication how volatile it has been this week, depending on the vagaries. I guess tomorrow we break the tie on these markets. Thank you, sir. Good seeing you again.
Thanks for having me on.